Why do I have to pay my health insurance company back after I've been involved in a wreck? This is a great question I get from my clients, and the answer is it just depends. The reason that most of the time you have to pay your health insurance back is because you can't double dip in your case. For example, if I'm involved in a car wreck and I've got $10,000 in damages and my health insurance pays it, the person that hit me that's responsible for causing this $10,000 in damages, part of my liability claim against them are medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering, future medicals, all those things that we get for our clients in a personal injury claim. But I just want to concentrate now on the medical bills. If your health insurance pays $10,000 in bills and this liability pays $10,000 in bills, you're getting paid $20,000 for $10,000 in bills. Your health insurance carrier, when you signed on with them, you didn't know it, more likely than not, but when you signed on, there's a clause in there that says, we will pay for your medical treatment. But if you're involved in a wreck and there's third-party liability and they owe your health insurance or your medical bills for causing that wreck, then you can't double dip and you have to pay us back. It's called subrogation. They stand in your shoes to get the money back. So they'll pay it up front first, then you're going to get reimbursed and you have to pay that money back to your health insurance. You're not entitled to double dip. There are certain instances where the right of subrogation does not spring into existence, and that is when, this is getting a little bit legal deep knowledge, but when you are not made whole. Made whole is just a legal fiction that says if you've been hurt in a wreck and you've got all these medical bills, you're entitled to medical bills, pain and suffering, loss of enjoyment of life, and sometimes there's not enough money to pay for all of that. And so when there's not enough money to pay for that, for example, when you're hit by somebody and they do a lot of damage to you and they've only got $100,000 in medical bills, but your medical bills are $200,000. Well, you're not made whole, even close to being made whole in that case. So your health insurance does not get the right of subrogation back. There are some other exceptions when you have to pay, even if you haven't been made whole. This is why we ask upon intake of your case is, do you have an ERISA plan? ERISA health insurance plans are a different animal, and basically they are, if they've got certain plan language, and usually exist when you have 50 more employees that are where you get your health insurance, and there's more than 50 employees, most of those health insurance plans are ERISA plans. And as such, they're federally protected. And there's case law that came out 10 or 15 years ago that says in an ERISA case with proper plan language that they have the first right to subrogation. So I can't just tell them to go jump in the lake in a case where our client's not been made whole. I have to work with them. Usually our job is to get as much money for you as we can, but the amount of health insurance we have to pay back and health bills, we try to reduce that down. The more we can do that, the more we can put in your pocket. But one other mistake people can make, they can have an ERISA policy and they settle the claim themselves, and then they think they've got a good settlement and they're so proud of themselves for dealing with the insurance adjuster and getting their case resolved. And then about 6 months after they settle their case and they've spent all that money, they get ERISA says, hey, we just found out you settled your case. You owe us $30,000. Like, well, I spent that money. I don't have it. Well, guess what? You're getting sued now for not paying ERISA back. So you need to be very aware of that. And this is one of our primary purposes as your lawyer. Is I need to make sure that we cover all the bases, because when I give you a check for your net settlement amount, I want to make sure that it is your money and there's no chance you're going to be attacked on that later on or have to forfeit that money later. I hope this helps. If it's confusing, let me know that in the comments. If there's another question that you have or your specific situation, please let me know that in the comments and we will address it. So thank you for listening to this. I hope it helps.